All right, so I want to share you really quickly how to do a pre and post assessment using Castle competencies. So I'm here on the Castle website, and as I was lesson planning, which is the first step to actually plan out the lessons first or to have an overview of what you're going to do, I looked to the Castle wheel to obviously choose my topics, but then I went a little bit further and looking at what was underneath each topic or competency to figure out what my objectives were going to be for the lesson. So I'm going to show you here. This is kind of a little sample of a syllabus that I did for my lesson planning. But anyway, so for one of them, and this is for an older group, so our adolescents. They are to analyze complex emotions through creating scenarios, explore how you would react emotionally to everyday situations, and recognize how your body reacts to certain emotions. So, when it comes to doing the pre and the post test for this, I'm going to ask questions in relation to recognizing complex emotions. More of the exploring is something that I want them to practice there in the moment. Um, so I could create a question for it, but I didn't. I more so went to the next objective where it says recognize how your body reacts to a certain emotion. And I believe I wrote a question for that one. So here's my little assessment. It's literally just a Google form, which I like because you can print them out or you can have them do it virtually. So one of the questions that relates to that section that I just read off, I can identify more emotions than sad, mad, happy, and scared. And so, again, this is adolescence, but I know for them, you have to be very specific with the things that you ask. So, even for my answers, I made it specific. Not at all. Yes, some. Yes, more than 10. So, I'm quantifying that so they know what um, bridge I'm looking for. And then down here on the second question, that's still related to the other objective that I had. I know how my body reacts to strong emotions. Not at all, sometimes, every time. So then we can even go back to the next one where it says managing emotions. The objective was to explore and practice several coping strategies, discuss ways to use coping strategies in different situations, and determine most practical coping strategies to use for real life examples. Again, I'm not going to ask them a question over every single one, just the ones that I feel like would be best measured or practical to measure during a classroom setting because some things that I'm teaching them, I want them to learn at home. So the questions, I know what coping strategies are. The answer is not at all. I've heard of it, but not sure, or I am sure. And then the other question is I know what coping strategies work for me. No, or I don't know what coping strategies are. Two, I tried some, but they don't work. Or three, I know what works for me. So I wrote an assessment for all of the lessons that I'm doing because I'm doing a specific program. However, you can just create questions specifically for each time that you go in and do a lesson. And then at the end of it, you can do that post assessment right before you leave. And that way, you're getting some quick social emotional data of, okay, they mastered this competency in which I provided education for them on. So, really quick, really easy. It's just you have to be planned out beforehand, but it's a great data point to be able to show that your students are learning throughout the lessons that you're providing for them. If you have questions, comment down below or let me know your thoughts.